Hello, everybody. My name is Carlos Sainz. I'm a driver for Ferrari. I'd like to thank, first of all, Kyle, Ryan, and Marcus for giving me the opportunity to join the Formula One podcast. I don't have too much time. I'm just in the middle of a round of golf with Lando. But, I just want to say I'm very excited to be here for my home race. And, of course, boys, take it away. Vamos, venga, sí, okay? Let's have some chilies.
Wow. Thank you very much for that, Carlos. That was gripping to have that on the Formula A podcast. What an introduction. Thank you very much. It's Kyle, Marcus, and Ryan, as Carlos said. And, obviously there's a theme with Carlos showing up. It's Spain this weekend, guys. You guys excited?
Yeah, ish.
Yeah, ish. Yeah, it's not the most exciting track, but, never know.
I know it's not the most exciting track, but 2021 proved that Paul Ricard cannot be boring.
Yes.
So I'm hoping, with fingers crossed, new regulations and a new rivalry, that somehow Barcelona might not be boring. I'm going to be hopeful.
Yeah, it's a great track. Like it's as a track to drive. I think it's great. I've never done it, obviously, but from the game, it's fantastic. It's the drivers seem to like it. It's just not really the best for overtaking and close racing, I guess. But yeah, like you said, the closer new regulations with the being able to follow closer, I think they might change around. And Paul Ricard took a lot of unfair flack. I think that's another good track too. And good thing Lewis and Max showed us that it can be fun. And I think Charles and Max, or maybe Carlos and Sergio, who knows, will show us that Catalunya can be fun. But there's a lot of new stuff going into Spain, guys.
Yeah, lots of young drivers such as Kubica testing out in FP1. But we've also got Nick De Vries and who's driving for Red Bull?
We've got Yuri Vips, the Estonian.
Yeah, so lots of young and Kubica talent making their way into FP1. Now, it could be. I know there was a bunch of rumors of Nick De Vries potentially taking Latifi's seat for next year.
Yep.
Could this be a sign of things to come?
It could be a precursor, honestly. I mean, like the guy, he's a Formula 2 champion, Formula E champion with Mercedes. I'm thinking, what more does this guy have to prove to at least get an opportunity to drive the car? So I think this is a long time overdue. Really happy for the guy to finally see him in a car. It could be a precursor to what we might see in 2023 for a potential seat for him. I think it's going to be super cool to see him out there. Really good driver, lots of talent. So I think it'd be nice.
And if you're Williams and you just watched Albon come back from a year off and just throw points on the board like it's no tomorrow, and with the cost cap and not hurting for money anymore, they might be looking, hey, 2 Albons might be nice. And still Latifi, but he does bring money, and he's not the best driver in the grid, but he's not. Maybe he is the worst driver currently. But
unfortunately, it's a good playing field. That's unfortunate for him, at least.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, not to cut you off there, Ryan, but I think it's funny you mentioned the Albon thing, because it did remind me of something I saw on Instagram that I did want to bring up. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that at Williams they have a little booth where you can go and dye your hair red, just like Albon.
Yes.
That's awesome. I didn't know
they literally put a little a face covering on you and just spray red stuff in your hair. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I saw Yost Capito getting that. Sprayed all over. It was pretty funny. I think that'd be good for them, especially the cost cap too. Like you said, they might not be so interested in that sponsorship money anymore, and they might look for that extra talent from De Vries. So I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe enough red hair in Williams, and maybe they'll get a podium.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they got one last year, and that car wasn't the greatest, so who knows? It's all to play for this year.
Yeah. Yep. And, we've got Yuri Vips at Red Bull in FP1 as well. He doesn't have the, sort of the attention on him as De Vries does, but another really good young driver. I'll be interested to watch him in Formula 2 this weekend at Spain as well. So it's another big opportunity for him, and maybe, again, a possible seat, not at Red Bull, but potentially at AlphaTauri next season. Rumors that Gasly might leave and look for something else. Vips is another guy who could find himself onto the grid, so could be seeing a glimpse into the future in Spain. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, what's your take on Gasly, guys? Do you think he's overdone his time at the Red Bull mothership? I don't know. The way I'm looking at it is, he tried to be in the big team, and it didn't work out for him or the team. And you could argue that he was done wrong there. It was pretty harsh, but I also think he wasn't ready for it. But they didn't handle it well either. But I don't know, if I was Gasly, it's kind of over with that. And he is a great talent. It'd be a shame if he never got a crack at a proper top seat. So I think it is really in his best interest to go spread his wings in another team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Red Bull's really comfortable having that Max and second driver lineup. Sergio's been a very good teammate to Max, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I mean, I think Sergio's kind of understood that he's not going to win any world championships anytime soon, but he's happy to pick up the occasional win here and there, and they work really great together as teammates, and I think it's very clear that Red Bull's main focus is Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
And you know what? I have this little hunch. I got no evidence of it, but Sergio just had his third baby, I think, this week. So congratulations to the Perez family for the next member. But I don't know, 3 kids, and he's already made his comment about if any more races come that he's out. I don't think Sergio's going to stay in F1 for much longer. And by that, it could be a year, it could be 2 years, but it could be 3 years. But he is definitely giving me the little bit of signs that this could be it.
Yeah. Well, it's similar to sort of what Rosberg too, right? I think he'd done what he wanted to do, and he wanted to spend more time with his family, right, and just enjoy life. So yeah, I get a little bit of those vibes from Perez too. I don't think he's done just yet, but I'd give it a couple more years, I think. I definitely agree with that. So, and there's just so much young talent, especially in the Red Bull pool too, right? So at least they're not hurting for that. Just, my God, Helmut and Christian, don't rush these guys and burn them out so early and ruin them again. It's not fair to anybody, the drivers or the fans or themselves either. So
yeah, but I do agree with you guys in the sense that I think Sergio has achieved what he's wanted. I know everyone dreams of being a world champion, but I think he's got a couple wins under his belt. I still love that he had his first win in the pink Mercedes. Yeah. Which I guess now we've got the that same team is now the green Red Bull. If you guys saw the
Green Bull.
The Green Bull,
Green
yeah.
Bull, yes.
Oh God.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So do we think Christian Horner is gonna say something this weekend, or?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be all over it.
I can see Ryan's face getting real angry on the video.
Yeah, you know what? Resident Red Bull fan, just let's hear it. What do you think about this?
All right, so first off, they still have a Mercedes engine, so I'm not worried whatsoever. Boom. But all jokes aside, did they copy anything more than just the side pod, or was it just the side pod? And actually, it looked like a little bit of floor too.
Yeah, the side pod is what we could see, but
and
like you said,
just the vent and I think just a little bit of the floor, but
yeah, I'm not worried. Whatever, they're not going to become a top contending team just with this upgrade, in my opinion. So, like I said, and I hate to say it, because I'd like to see all engines be fairly competitive with each other, with Honda Red Bull, or Red Bull powertrain, slightly on top, but I like to see them close. And yeah, Mercedes is definitely lacking the most this year, so I'm definitely not concerned of what Aston Martin brings.
Mercedes is actually something that I really did want to talk about. So I did see on Instagram someone posted Mercedes testing out a new floor, that they're going to be running a new floor. But I think the biggest thing is when we had preseason testing at Barcelona, Mercedes didn't have that zero pod. So FP1, FP2 is really going to show if that zero pod was worth re-engineering the whole car. or if it was just, not to be mean, but if it was just a little bit of a failure.
I don't think that's mean. I don't think you're mean at all. Don't worry. I think that's a realistic observation. Actually.
Listen, you gotta walk on eggshells with Mercedes fans. You're not trying to get canceled here.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. So.
But you know what? No, it's not mean. And I remember hearing way back when they first changed the side pods that Russell and Hamilton actually said they liked the feeling of the other side pods better. Like it felt better, but their lap times were slower regardless. So statistically, the zero pods were faster. So they went with that. But both the drivers at the time said they didn't like it. So maybe they're going back to the old concept, upgraded to beat the zero pods times. If that puts a little spark in Hamilton and he feels comfortable again, this could be that resurgence that I'm ever so fearing from Mercedes.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about before, you can't count these guys out. You can't count Lewis out. Flick of the switch one weekend to the next, they could turn it around at any point. So I don't think you can ever really count them out. And it's going to be interesting to see what these changes with the zero pods, what they do with the car. Especially on a track that has a lot of aerodynamics involved in it. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. This is a very technical episode, I guess. We've got a lot of there's a lot of changes and upgrades being made to the cars, and those are two big ones. I think Christian and Helmut are probably going to be pretty vocal about both of them, especially if Aston Martin makes a big jump. Like you said, Ryan, I don't think they're going to magically flick the switch and be a top team all of a sudden out of nowhere, but if it's a big enough gain to sort of alert the other teams, I think you're going to be hearing a lot of Christian and Helmut over the weekend saying this is garbage and they're pulling it again. Yeah.
I can see that the line in the sand being if Aston Martin's super clear of AlphaTauri, and then Christian will go to defend his junior, well, I shouldn't say junior, but second team.
Yeah.
I could see that being the line in the sand.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with Ryan on that.
Yeah. So they'll be keeping a close eye on that. Aside from the technical standpoints, I mean, it's just like from a driver's standpoint, Ryan, you've got to love it. I think Max is totally on the front foot at the present time right now. I know he's behind in the standings. Charles had a big lead at the start, but man, that Red Bull looks fast. It looks so fast in everything. I know it was the straight line was the big thing, but it looks good in the corners now too. You guys think Charles and Ferrari, you think they're a little worried at all by this?
So I don't know. I think it might be I don't know, like that. We did see that Red Bull porpoising just a little bit in Miami,
you're right,
which we haven't seen just yet. But I don't know. I think once Monaco happens, because you know what, Charles has already had his bad luck for the year at Monaco, and our resident world traveler here, Kyle, had a front row seat to that. I think. For those of you that were paying attention to our Instagram stories, you might have noticed some content from the Monaco Classic Grand Prix. So I'll let Kyle talk a little bit about that experience to you guys.
Sure. I mean, it wasn't ripped off of another story or anything. That was live in Saint Devote for that, and that was an incredible experience. First of all, just put it out there. If anybody listening. If you're ever thinking about going to an event in Europe, Monaco, any sort of classic racing, that is like bar none one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. Just all the cars through all the different eras, just roaring around the town. It's just incredible. And it also proved to me that Monaco is actually still, in fact, a pretty fun track when the cars aren't as wide as a double-decker bus, because the racing was fantastic.
So I gotta ask you, were they more so putting on a show, or were they actually hard racing?
It was hard racing. I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought it was going to be like a show, okay, it'll be a nice race, and they'll give it the beans and everything, but they're not going to overtake or anything like that. But the day started off. Well, my day started off with watching the pre-war Grand Prix, like all the 30s Grand Prix cars before Formula One even existed. So like old Bugattis and Maseratis and stuff. And these guys were like banging wheels in the Saint Devat in these like tin cans that are like 100 years old. And I thought, oh my goodness, okay, these guys are like absolutely going for it. Like they're not holding back. They don't care how valuable these cars are. They're going for it. They had tons of respect for their fellow drivers, obviously. Even when there was incidents, yellow flags out, the guys slow right down. But yeah, they went for it. And unfortunately, one of the guys that was going for it on a demo lap was our boy Charles. And he just can't seem to catch a break in Monaco, even when he's not in a Grand Prix. Nope. I was in the first corner in Saint Devat, and I was having a great time watching him rip around this old Niki Lauda 312. And I thought, this is fantastic. You know, the championship leader, iconic car. He's driving Monaco. This is fantastic, right? And we've got a screen on the other side of the track from us. Everybody in the grandstand's watching it, and as he goes past our corner, watching him do the lap. And then, the commentator's talking about the car and everything, and all of a sudden he goes into Rascasse, and it's just like a quick spin out of nowhere and backs into the wall, and there was no like immediate reaction from myself or anybody in the grandstand, because everyone was just kind of like shocked, like, did he just do that? Did that actually just happen? So
I heard he lost his brakes though, right?
He did lose his brakes. Yeah. There was a picture that got posted of the actual brake disc just exploding and just falling right off the car. So it completely wasn't his fault. It's a classic Leclerc incident, unfortunately. Just something goes wrong and he happens to be there.
Losing brakes in Monaco just seems to be his thing.
Yeah.
If I had to like pray for someone to win Monaco this year, I want it to be Charles, just so that this Monaco curse ends.
Yeah.
You know what? Charles, and I hate saying this because I think there's some Leafs fans that listen. I see a correlation to Charles and the Leafs and blowing it in. If Monaco is race 7, then that is just amazing.
No, Monaco's not even race 7. It would be round 1 of the playoffs.
If he loses his lead in race 7, that would be the funniest coincidence ever.
Hold on, Monaco is the 7th race.
I think it is the 7th race, which is really ironic.
Oh my god.
I am so
Congratulations, Ferrari is Toronto, and Leclerc is Austin Matthews. All the Toronto listeners are going to hate me.
Oh my goodness, I am so glad it's not a Hockey Pad podcast, guys. I can't.
I feel like the better joke there would have been...
Oh, man. This is a Canadian podcast, so it's gonna come up eventually. So I just have to deal with it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess Ryan decided he wanted to be American and support the Bruins, but they didn't make it past the first round either, and that's the extent of my hockey knowledge. So I'll leave it to you guys.
Fortunately, guys, Ryan has been relieved of his duties here for being a Bruins fan, and it's great having him.
For everyone listening, I just put up a Bruins hat on the webcam, and that did not go over well with the McLaren fans. I'm on thin ice now.
It's disgusting. It's gross.
But come on. I didn't rehearse that Monaco would technically be home race game 7.
Yeah. I can't believe that it's even the 7th race of the season.
It's
that
a little
worked out
too
perfect.
It's a little too coincidental.
If the championship turns around at Monaco, I will never speak again because that would be the worst jinx ever.
What is the do we know what's the current point gap between Verstappen and Leclerc? Do we know? I think it's down to like 16 or something.
19. Marcus is pulling it up on his phone. And my phone is my microphone, so I will not touch that because it will make terrible noises.
So I'm thinking this is the Spain preview, so it does count. It does count technically. I'm thinking Max takes the lead after Monaco.
Yeah, so it's 19 points.
Yeah,
it is 19.
I'm thinking Max takes the lead after Monaco. I think they're just so. I think they're on the front foot. I think they're too good right now. I don't know if Ferrari really have an answer for them. I mean, even look, Ferrari locked at the front row, Miami, and they still couldn't stop Max and Red Bull. He just comes charging through, and once he's passed, you're not going to get him back.
You guys know the feeling. Like in sports or in karting or in any racing, when you've got that confidence and you can feel it, it doesn't even matter if you're driving with a half broken cart. Like if you're on it, you're on it. Like
Yeah.
I also just took in, I didn't realize that Russell was 4th in the standings. I thought Sainz was.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think he was
Russell's
3rd up
holding
until
4th.
last weekend, or maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not that far off Perez. He's only like 7 points behind Perez.
Yeah. Yeah. Russell's been
Not bad at
absolutely
all.
fantastic. I don't know how that's sitting with Hamilton, but Russell's been absolutely fantastic. And I think the upgrades, I think Mercedes will do good this weekend. I think, it's like I said, there's too much talent in not just the drivers, but the engineering and the technical side of that team too. It's just too much talent, and I think eventually they turn it around. And,
I also think we're going to see Russell's first win this year.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I agree with
that's going to happen.
yeah.
Russell's been on it.
Well, since we're on the topic of wins,
I'm frozen.
oh,
Or you're frozen.
we're frozen. We
I'm
can
back.
hear you.
I'm
There you
back.
go.
Okay, there we go.
But yeah, on the topic of wins, do we want to give our podium predictions?
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh.
Who
Yeah.
wants to start?
Ladies first, Ryan?
Ah.
Oh, just because the Bruins had it.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting the stiff arm now every time.
All right. That's fair. Hey, I do have a Tim Hortons cup, so there we go. It was a little
Okay.
redemption.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's fine.
okay, my podium prediction. I'm gonna go with in 3rd place, as we just spoke about, George Russell.
Fuck, that's the same
Okay.
one as me.
Okay.
Yeah, Mercedes has always been good. Well, they've always been good at every track because they always had a huge advantage. But even when they had somewhat of a competition, whether it was Ferrari or Red Bull, they always like Barcelona. They always seem to be good in Barcelona. So I'm going to go with Russell 3rd. Ooh, 2nd. This is tough now. This is getting tough. Do I be boring or do I do something bold?
Mine's pretty boring, so you can be bold if you want.
Okay, I'm going bold.
Schumacher.
Okay, that's like really, really, really bold.
No, so I said
I'm gonna
Schumacher,
go-
not Latifi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not 3 relays, just 1 relay. Yeah.
So for 2nd, I'm going to go with Sainz, and
Okay.
I'm going to go with Max for the win.
Okay.
I'd be
I'm
happy with the
terrified that I said that.
Sainz podium.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be good.
Kyle?
Okay. All right. I have a bit of a spicy take for 3rd. Not trying to be biased at all. I think Lando 3rd. Reason for that, before I get absolutely shot by somebody who thinks I'm just out to lunch with that, is because after Spain preseason testing, McLaren looked so good at that track with their package.
Hey, good
And-
memory.
Yes,
Kyle.
and this is before they apply the upgrades that they've already put onto their car. So I think they have that track figured out pretty well, and I think the package in that car suits it really well. Lando knows the track really well. I'm locking that in. Lando in 3rd. 2nd place, that's a bit of a toss-up, but I'm gonna do Charles 2nd. I think he'll shrug off his little incident with Lauda's car there this past weekend and forget about it and have a good result in Spain. And yeah, I'm gonna continue with the boringness and put Max in 1st. I think he's just too good there. I think he's got it figured out, and I think he'll get it pretty comfortably.
Yeah, so mine's basically the combination of you guys. I really hope Kyle is right because I'd love another McLaren podium. But I'm thinking it's going to be Russell P3, Leclerc P2, and Max I think is going to win it.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a good battle,
Yeah.
but I think once Max gets clear enough from Leclerc, he's going to be like 5 seconds clear.
Yeah, and with there's so much technical, right? Obviously, it's a super long front straightaway, but the whole lap is quite technical, and there's a lot of places to make mistakes. But generally speaking, it's pretty hard to catch up to people through that middle of the lap, right?
Yeah,
so
especially with that chicane at the end.
It's
like
brutal.
you can just like you'll get close and then you'll be lost.
and you just lose it because
Yeah.
of like the worst corner on the calendar. I has
they
to
should,
be.
They should just bring back the old layout, like that
Yes.
old final corner. Like, I get it, the safety thing about, you know, if
come
you
on. Yeah.
go off and whatever. But these new cars, like, we saw Grosjean go right through a wall and he walked away with almost nothing. Like, these new cars are designed to be so incredibly safe.
Yeah.
Like, remember what racing was like? Like, you guys have seen the movie Rush, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, that is, like, pure, like, that's what racing is. Like, these guys go in the cars, and even nowadays, they're prepared to die driving these cars.
Oh, yeah. It
So
doesn't matter
put
how safe they are.
a little bit
Yeah.
of risk. Like, no one's, like, I'm sorry, but these new cars are a lot safer than the cars from a couple of years ago. I think they should fix that corner, because the track's still, like, we were just talking before the podcast that there is still that longer line instead of the chicane.
Yeah.
And sorry, Ryan, I saw you wanted to say something there, so I'll let you.
Well, it's funny you actually answered my question, because I wanted to do a little surprise segment called "What Would You Change?" and what would you change on the track. But I think I know your answer.
It's 100%. Lock it in.
I think
That
everyone's got
stupid,
the same.
stupid chicane.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's the dumbest chicane.
It's so dumb. I don't know. Have you guys played the game too? F1, like F1, anything like that. If you're driving that track, or it doesn't even have to be F1. It be Forza, Gran Turismo, anything like that. It's like the whole lap is so enjoyable, and then you get to the end, and it's like as soon as you're like coming up to that corner, you're like, oh my god, here we go again. I gotta go over this stupid curb.
I call it the momentum killer.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal.
Instead of the
Why is it
mistake
there?
maker, that's the momentum killer.
Because think about it, you could get such a good run onto the straight. Like, that
Oh my
would make
God.
for great overtakes.
Yeah, and you know how bad it is in qualifying when obviously guys are lining up to get the right gap and get the space to put their lap in at the end, and you've got to go through that, navigate that chicane with all that traffic. It's a nightmare. It's so stupid, and they don't have to do any paving or any landscaping, anything like that. The other route is already there. Just bypass the chicane, blow it up, cover it up. I don't even care. Just get rid of it. I hate it. I hate it. Here's my mini rant. I hate it. Yeah.
Kyle loves the chicane, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the this is not the Spain preview anymore. This is the chicane rant show. It sucks. That's it.
Blow it up.
Yeah, blow it up.
That's the
It
quote of the
sucks.
show.
I'm
Blow it up.
Yeah.
Fill it with TNT and blow it up from the under.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
100%. So that's what I would change. There you
Anything
go.
else?
No.
Sure? You wouldn't change that chicane?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? Just throw a little pylon in the middle of the front straightaway or something. Put another one in there. Make it even.
I was gonna say, how about one more?
What is? Do you have another one?
No.
Okay,
no,
good.
My change point is the same.
And exactly
I
what
think
you're.
everybody.
Yeah, exactly what Marco was talking about with the safety. And if that's the concern, I mean, look at the track they built in Jeddah. The whole track is dangerous, right? Look at Mick's crash at that track. It was brutal. And there's walls, at least in Spain, you've got gravel and runoffs,
Or
right?
even Miami.
Yeah.
Oh,
That impact that Ocon had was the same G-force as Max at Silverstone.
Yeah.
which
and
is
it was
we
not
talked
even
about
that
it last
fast.
podcast. It's just incompetency on the FIA, because it could have tech pro barrier, and they just
Yeah,
didn't
it
for
could have been a
whatever
serious
reason.
injury, and it's because they spent so much time building a fake marina instead, and then they walk through the marina, and what's that Tech Pro line doing there? Oh, it's supposed to be in the corner over there, but whatever.
Actually, since we are talking about the Miami GP, I think a big thing that everyone's been talking about was how terrible the broadcast was for Miami. Like, when, what's it called? Lewis and George were battling, and then they just cut to aerial shots of the track.
Yeah,
Like, or, Max
Or
would be
the
about
ocean.
to do a move on Charles or vice versa, and then he just panned to Red Bull fans in the grandstands. Like,
yeah, and there were so many incredible battles lower in the field. Like,
Yeah.
you're watching Max drive around at the front, and it's like, Mr. Director, Leclerc's not catching him, okay? Just let it go. And meanwhile, you're seeing the table. It was like Magnussen, Schumacher, Vettel, Ocon, I think, down there, just swapping positions like every 2 seconds, and it's like, oh my goodness, turn the
Yeah.
camera. Like, I want to see what's going on down there, and they weren't showing it. Instead, like, oh, here's DJ Khaled or Gianluca Vacchi or whatever his name was, social media sensation.
Yeah, because I'll be honest with you guys, I thought that Miami was a boring race, and then I did a little bit of digging. There was 55 overtakes.
Yeah,
during
the
that
field,
race.
It was very exciting. It's just we didn't see it on TV, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So.
Now, what do you guys watch on? Do you guys watch it on F1 TV, Sportsnet? Like, what's your...
Definitely F1 TV, because, homie hookup.
Yeah, I do. I'm on the TSN in Canada.
Oh,
I'm on the TSN in Canada.
That's the worst.
It's the Sky Sports broadcast, and for anybody who's not in Canada listening, you get the Sky Sports broadcast. So you get Crofty and Brundle and DeResta and all those, it's the regular broadcast, but they have to go to commercial breaks, and they put up a commercial for selling, I don't know, Belvita crackers or something, whatever, and then they put the race in this little tiny screen, and they always go to commercial when something's exciting happening. You have to peek into the little screen to see it. That's a Canadian problem.
I remember the
Kyle,
TSN
I will message you after the podcast, because I'm not going to put it on the podcast, but I will give you the username and password.
Okay. Okay.
So no more TSN, no more commercials. We're living good now.
So hopefully they pick it up the broadcasting in Spain and get a new director or something, because.
But I guess on the topic of F1 TV, this is going to be a little bit of a, we'll call it a hack, because a lot of my buddies have been complaining about the broadcasting. When you do stream the race on F1 TV and you do want to hear Brundle and Crofty, just hit the little button on the right that says international. That gets you the international broadcast, and you don't deal with the other commentators. Ryan just looks like absolutely mind blown. Did I just blow your mind?
I missed them so bad.
Dude, I was livid after Bahrain. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And everyone on Instagram and this, they're like, oh, you just have to click this one button. And here I am, I'm going through settings. I'm like, I don't see international. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
The new commentators are too good. They get every driver right. They remember the team name changes. I just miss Crofty and Brundle just absolutely butchering everything.
Is it Alex Jacques who's the F1 TV commentator? He's the F2 guy. He's pretty good.
I've never.
But yeah, it's almost funny listening to them get stuff wrong.
And I think you have Karun Chandok too, right?
Yes, it is Karun Chandok. And he's not bad. You know what
No,
I mean?
he's not bad. Well, because he was always part
Karun.
of the main broadcast, or as of lately.
Yeah, I like Karun. He's really good at the technical stuff too, like Ryan is. And I don't want to I know you've been waiting to get to this for 2 weeks, and I think we've glazed over every time. So, new segment to the show. It's Ryan's 2026 corner. He has a lot of good information on the 2026 cars, and of course, there's so much talk about them with the Volkswagen Group and everything. And it's another exciting time, just like when the regulations changed this year. So. Speaking of, Karun Chandok and technical side, we have our own Karun Chandok and technical stuff with Mr. Ryan Chapman here. So I want to hear your thoughts on the 2026 regs and what it's all about.
All right. Well, first I'll lay them out what they are. So they have 6 objectives laid out. And the chassis, what they're going for, their goals for chassis is pretty clear. Power unit is kind of still up in the air, but they've cleared a few things. So first thing they want to do, I don't know the exact order, but one of the things they want to do is make the cars smaller.
Nice. Excellent.
Yes. So they want to reduce size and dimension in every area. The second one is reduce mass.
Excellent.
So I'm convinced they're listening to our show, because I think I said that needs to happen in the first episode.
Yep.
So did every other F1 fan, and anybody who has a clue about F1 probably said the same thing. Anyway, MGUH, which is the generating system that uses the waste exhaust gas to produce power, going to be scrapped. Bigger electric motors. Can't remember now off the top of my head. It's 400, 300 horsepower more. Don't quote me on that. someone can research it and comment on one of our Instagram posts if I'm wrong, because I'm definitely wrong on that, but it's close to something like that. They want to go for more sustainability. Actually, they want to go full sustainable fuel with a high revving, is what they're claiming.
Okay, that's good.
I'm all in for that.
Nice.
And then they said, this is a weird and really vague one. Learning about racing closer and utilizing what FIA learns. That was one of their 6 goals. So, good job. You should be doing that every year regardless.
Isn't that what they're doing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Every year, that should be just part of your every year job.
Yeah.
And then what was some of the other ones? Cost cap will still be in place. And how many am I at now? 5 or 6?
That was 6. Definitely.
That was 6. Yeah. And then I'm definitely missing one. If it comes to me, I'll bring it up. But anyway, so that's what they're going after, which I'm very happy to hear. It seems exciting. I would love to see smaller cars, Monaco, have a little more life to it.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm convinced they're going to need a tow truck to get them through that hairpin in Monaco.
Yeah.
Help them pull the front end around.
Yeah. And I think ditching the MGUH is a really good thing. It's just another component that's really expensive and everything that has to be fixed. Good way to keep the cost cap down, especially with a cap on spending. It's good for the smaller teams too. And less finicky parts like that, I think, is just better. Yeah.
Oh, I do remember the last one. And again, extremely vague. Continue innovation.
Continue innovation, okay. I think that is pretty much on the agenda every day. Get out of bed, have a shower, continue innovation. That should be their morning routine.
If F1 wasn't continuing innovation, then it would just be another spec race series.
Yeah,
so
it's the pinnacle of motorsport, right? Like everything that gets put into road cars basically is in Formula 1 first, so.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, so.
Interesting. Yeah, those are the 6 factors of what they're going after in 2026. And hopefully, we've talked about it many times, the names of Porsche, Audi, Andretti, maybe others, who knows?
Who knows, yeah. Fun time.
With sparkling, nice new regulations and a cost cap, maybe we'll see a nice big grid.
Spicy and enticing. I like it. Well, that was insightful. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah. I'm glad we finally got to that.
What's that?
I'm glad we finally got to that. Because I know you've been eagerly waiting to talk about 2026 regs, and people have been eagerly waiting to hear what you have to think about them. So that was excellent.
Happy thoughts, no criticism. They all seem like good things. There's a couple really vague ones, but the ones that they've laid out. Oh, and they want to go for a lot less drag.
Interesting.
They're going to design the cars to have a lot less drag.
Okay.
So.
Is that so that F1 cars can become as fast as Indy cars?
Ah. Oh. You had a little problem with that, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. There's been some talks about is IndyCar faster than an F1 car, and in a straight line, yes, IndyCar is faster. So I've talked about it before. I'm quite the IndyCar fan myself, and I actually have a buddy that I grew up with who's in IndyCar, and he was on Team AJ Foyt, Dalton Kellett, number 4. Go cheer him on in the Indy 500 this weekend. You know, he was actually up against Juan Pablo Montoya for older F1 fans.
Yep.
And Juan almost came 6th in a absolute disaster rain race. I know this is an F1 podcast, but anybody has ever wanted to get into IndyCar, the last Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course race that happened last weekend was insanity. It was a mess. There was rain, it was dry, it was rain, it was dry. It was a wicked race. So go check that out.
Check that out.
But back to the who's faster. So yes, IndyCars are faster in a straight line, but the 12-second difference of COTA lap times would definitely disagree.
Yes, I know.
Sorry, Dalton.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw
As
it
soon
out
as you hit a
there.
corner, it's a different story. Yeah.
Dell Dalton listens to this podcast, but hey, who knows?
He will soon enough. Don't worry.
But you know what? I would be very curious one day to see a Red Bull or a Ferrari have the gearbox and the differential changed for top speed and put on the same kind of wings as an Indy 500 oval setup with the double slanted tires for oval.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. I would love to see that. That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure if you unrestrict the cars, like, absolutely, they can go absolutely nuts. I mean, again, sir, I know this is an F1 podcast, but you saw when they took the restrictions off the Porsche 919 Le Mans car, how stupidly fast it was around the Nürburgring. It looked like a fake video, and it'd be pretty cool to do like a demo run with a Red Bull or something, and see how fast they could get.
Well, I'm sure now with how popular F1 is in the States, it's only a matter of time before they try to take an F1 car around the oval.
Oh yeah, that'll be a demonstration for sure at some point. Attract the Southerners, I guess, and
Yep, we want to
Yeah.
see one of them fancy Formula One cars. Yeah, they're not faster than the NASCAR.
yeah,
Just because they can turn right, they think they're better than us.
yeah. So shouts out to Hank Hill. Maybe we'll get a race down there at some point. Homestead Miami Speedway or some other I have no idea, but
Hey,
yeah.
Marcus here on the podcast. He congratulations to Marcus. He has put in his notice after 4.5 hard years at a Dodge dealership, and he is doing his own business. But I will say, you can take the Dodge out of you can take the Marcus out of a Dodge, but you can't take the Dodge out of the Marcus, brother. That's for sure.
Yep, I mean, listen, if there's one thing you can always count on, it's the Cummins reliability. I tell you what.
There you go. It's natural.
Yep,
It's
you can
natural.
run that thing on horse piss and just.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's good. That's funny.
Sorry, we were
Yeah.
talking about F1 and stuff?
Yeah, we were talking about
Yeah.
F1. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're fast, eh?
Yeah, they're fast.
Yeah.
Cars, race cars are good.
Oh man.
Oh, that got me so sidetracked. I don't even know where we were.
I know. Well, we were talking about Indy cars versus F1 cars and speed relevance.
Well, could you imagine how sketchy it would be, like, having an F1 race just in an oval? I
Yeah,
think
I
that would
can't
be
imagine it.
that'd be so reckless and just so dangerous.
I mean, we kind of technically saw with Bahrain out of the loop
Yeah.
a little bit. That's the closest we'll ever get to seeing that, I think.
I hope you're right. As much as I hate saying it, I would never want to see that.
I don't
I would
hate
never
saying
want to
it.
see that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's a terrible idea. I'll throw it out there right now. I don't even know how we're on this. I think it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, it'd be cool as a
Now-
demo run with just the
Yeah.
one car on the track, but I don't think more than one F1 car should be on an oval.
No.
Now, flip the roles. Has anybody seen NASCAR on a street circuit? YouTube that.
It's
That shit
hilarious.
is hilarious.
Yeah, it's
That
hilarious.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they used to do they
Yeah,
used
they
to
used
have
to
a race.
do road courses, right?
Yeah, they still have a few, but they used to have a race in Montreal at Gilles Villeneuve. I think it was the second tier series that they did it, but it's it's an F1 podcast, it's an F1 track, so there you go. We're still on the topic. Like, yeah, they do it for. It's funny, but yeah, never, ever.
But you are right. This is an F1 podcast, so back to F1 talk. So, how about Valtteri Bottas's butt?
on his
Just
Instagram.
Yeah.
That guy is a little too
I
He's
feel
like
like
an
he's
it- I would
definitely
call
one of the
him the
most
F1
liked
influencer.
F1 drivers.
He's got a little too much pride in that thing, showing it off
Yeah.
on camera every bloody time. You know what though? He's loving life, and I think he's. Big weekend for him in Spain this weekend. It is a Spain preview. Thanks for bringing up Valtteri and his rear end. It's gonna be good race for him this weekend. Mark it down. Another good one.
I think we're
But you know
gonna
what?
see him
I'm
in the
gonna
points.
tag
Definitely.
on to that. I'm gonna go Valtteri top 5.
Ooh.
Good one. So
Lock it
who,
in.
so who crashes out then, or who has a problem? Because we've already got a few guys up in the top. Like, so like one of the top guys from the top 2 teams has to go out.
All right, this would be insane if I get all of these right, but just to fill it, I don't even want to say it because what if I double jinx it? Perez is going to feel the Red Bull reliability, possible DNF or in the lower standings.
I'm losing power, man, again.
Yeah, but like real power this time.
Yeah.
And then I don't see in my predictions if Charles is 4th, how the hell Russell would ever keep a Ferrari behind him unless the upgrades are.
Yeah.
Okay, but just for fun and just for the sake of it, I'm going to put Charles in 4th.
Okay. Well, you know what? The first time we did this show, we both put Aston in the points in Imola to score their first points, and they did. And with their new upgrades and their full Red Bull design, I think they're going to get another good race too. And it's going to make Red Bull very angry, but, you know, that's Lawrence for you, buddy.
Yeah, I think we'll see. I definitely agree with the Valtteri and the points. I don't know that we'll see him top 5. I think he's going to be maybe P6, P7. But
that's what I
could
was
see.
That's probably a lot more realistic, but I'm going to stick to my P5 for the fun of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he would have had, what was it? He would have been P4 in Miami if there wasn't a safety car.
Yeah, and he had a little incident at the end too that let both Mercedes through.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the deciding factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've really covered all the bases. I think we'll have to see what. Yeah, I think we'll have to see what this weekend brings. It's nice to have racing again. We had that little week off, and now we've got our double header, and we're gonna be busy filming all these podcasts for you guys. But yeah, I've got nothing else to say at least until Sunday.
I think we're pretty good.
Yeah, it's not a talking point, but just a little fun bit. Haas is bringing no upgrades. So
yes, I did see that. They're saving bigger upgrades in about 4 to 5 races time. So
I don't think we really need to touch on that, but just let that sit.
Yeah.
And
for the Haas fans out there, you know.
Yeah. Remember that for the weekend.
Yep. Groovy.
All right. Well.
Awesome, guys.
Oh, and I think Carlos is here to sign us off. So.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening to Formula A. We really appreciate you guys coming and taking the time out of your day to listen. So hopefully I get the win in Spain. And of course, guys, we see you on Sunday.
Thank you very much, Carlos. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. All right. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy Spain, everybody. We'll see you next week.